Copenhagen Flames have never made it large in the Tier 1 scene, often being stuck in the Tier 2 to 4 area, playing online tourneys and smaller LANs. What they're most known for is having their younger players be picked up by more impressive teams in Denmark and across Europe. Let me just name a few of those players to see if you recognise them. Out of the bunch, we have the most recognisable names as Mouz, Tessus, Farlig and Refresh. Okay, some of those names are still in Tier 1 making noise, but not all of them. My point is, when they finally have something for them, it often gets taken away. Lately, Copenhagen are finally getting some respect thanks to their performance in the group stage and then some of the IEM Fall EU. I wanted to take a look at a few of their games, one important one being the series against Vitality. Although they lost against the French super team, they put up a great fight for it, and could have taken this to all 3 maps, even potentially winning it on a better day for them. But I'm being pretty generous to think that Vitality would drop 2 against Copenhagen Flames. When watching this back, the most interesting part was how differently on Dust 2 they played the CT halves against each other. Copenhagen are very in favour of pressuring mid and tunnels early now, so much so that there were multiple occasions where Vitality were watching upper dark as if it's A long. In round 18 of Dust 2, we can see this aggression which ended up severely shunting Vitality's hopes of having ever be comfortable going tunnels, as 3 of them get taken out by Deagles thanks to the mid push and a late upper push from Jabby. This early adoption of pushing mid has me excited to see how other teams are going to be taking control of tunnels and mid. To see Copenhagen aggress it so frequently against one of the best teams right now was impressive to say the least, and it definitely won the Flames some rounds on CT. On top of this, there were rounds in the game that Copenhagen Flames should have never won in the first place. You can argue that some of these were from poor plays from Vitality, but when you're playing against the best, you're more often having to capitalise on their mistakes rather than win your own rounds. On round 14, the play begins pretty standard with long pressure coming out of Copenhagen Flames. This eventually gets them a kill on Apex as he aggresses through the long corner smoke. Flames then stay quiet and hold for any long aggression while Jabby is working tons on the other side of the map. Eventually, they confirm that no one is playing Car long with some utility, and pressure off the AWPer so Shox holds a more conservative angle. Everyone for Flames is now heading towards mid, as Nico stays long and Jabby works towards the B site. If Jabby is successful in taking the B site, either a mid split or a tunnels rotate will be underway by Copenhagen Flames, where Nico would then stab the CTs in the back, AWPing from long towards CT. However, Jabby goes down, then with the position of the Flames now, they conduct an A short push with the long lurk. Being that Jabby was very committed towards B, Vitality may think it's unlikely that there is any long pressure anymore, as there is more noise towards mid. 2 great kills come from Nico's flank, which allows the short players to swarm the site and get the kill onto Shox, while Zyphon held the flank and picked up the rotating Masuta kill, whom they would know is coming from B because he killed Jabby. This play live really caught me off guard, with how seamless they dismantled both Shox and Zywoo AWPing on the site that they decided to take. Whether or not the scenario of Jabby dying was a scenario they accounted for is a question to ask Copenhagen Flames. With how well it transitioned into an A hit, however, I'd have to say that they knew something like this could happen, which just highlights the level that Copenhagen Flames are playing at and maybe the Tier 2 scene as a whole. Moving over to Vertigo, throughout IEM Fall, they have shown that they're very comfortable on this map, often picking it, and having a lot of force buys where other teams may have chosen to save for future rounds on the T side. With rounds like round 7, we see how Copenhagen like to push up and get kills on A and often go quiet after taking some map control. And in this case, they then take the bomb over towards B, to plant on that site even when the numbers were in favour of the Ts on the A site. Naturally, a similar situation happens again on round 9, where Copenhagen have less numbers this time thanks to a cheeky Zywoo push, who, by the way, looked like he was having a really rough time on CT against these guys, even though his stats looked fine. After Zywu gets killed, Copenhagen again go quiet, just like in round 7. But with this, they remain A, as Vitality get restless and begin to push it together. This leads to 2 easy kills for Nico, whom was missing a lot of shots before this, but as these kills demonstrate here, he keeps his mindset quite steady and continues to AWP even if he's having a bad time. Nico then gets dropped, but gets traded out by Jabby perfectly, turning a 3v4 situation into a 2v1, which lets the bomb go down safely and ends up developing into another win for Copenhagen Flames. In round 14, we also have another play for A, losing Nico early, but at least trading him and killing Apex. They slowly take A ramp and begin to lurk across the map with Hooksy and Jabby, clearing out B stairs, working towards B. Ro works up A, noticing how empty it is, and dies to a naughty angle from Zywu. With the B response increasing, Zyphon works up to A, while Jabby rotates with the bomb, and eventually planting it. The site hold setup then proves too strong, with Zyphon and Jabby cleaning house. This round just demonstrates how well Copenhagen Flames are at taking space that's given to them by their opponents. Plays and attitude like this is what will get you the rounds at this level, and this highlights how comfortable Copenhagen Flames are on this map, especially as they're happy to split players up and abuse the rotations and force the issue across the map as a whole. Copenhagen Flames do not come without their faults. There are still a few things to iron out, and mistakes that cannot be made if they really want to take it to the next level. Especially if they want to keep playing against these big names and even winning. Playing how they are right now will definitely have them winning tier 2 events and beating tier 2 teams. But I'm sure that's not all they want. In round 26, we see a perfect example of what they cannot allow to happen in the future if they want to make it big. The round starts off in great favour of our Danish squad here. With some good utility and awareness, Vitality are slowed at ramp. Ro gets a few shots off and retreats as he rightfully expects some aggression. He gets to a safer position and manages to kill Apex, whom was chasing him down. On top of this, the shots earlier managed to weaken Masuta enough for him to die for a nade. As we see, we're now in a 5v3 in favour of Copenhagen. Not that this right now is entirely winnable, but we see that the odds are in favour of the Danes. Zywu and Shox enter the site dry, trading out Kyojin and getting the bomb down. Now we're in a situation where I would hope Copenhagen Flames would get their act together and retake well. They have lots of utility and the numbers to win it. Some good late utility comes out of Vitality, disturbing the retake momentarily. Jabby then gets caught ahead of himself as Copenhagen smoke off ramp and the bomb. A little more patience and Jabby could likely have had a bigger impact this round. But with his death, Zywu ends up getting the diffuser and Shox cleans up Nico. I know that this round is not entirely impossible for Vitality to win. It is Vitality after all. But my point is that Copenhagen are going to have to win these rounds, especially on CT, when the odds are already in your favour. The best of the best will squeeze out any round against you, no matter whose favour it's in. I'm really looking forward to seeing Copenhagen Flames play more games. Hopefully, their best players don't get picked up again by someone else, but we do see some weird movements happening with Astralis, and I know Config's going there, but it wouldn't be the first time where, out of nowhere, 2 teammates are dropped for another 2 Danish teammates. I'm talking about Heroic here. If this is representative of Tier 2 EU teams, I'm very excited for the future of LANs and developments ahead. Thank you for watching. If you watched it all the way throughout, I'm more appreciative of that than if you're even subbed or liking this, but feel free to do those actions if you want. I'm having a lot of fun making these longer videos. I hope you're enjoying watching them, and I'm excited to get more on the way. Make sure to check out all my other socials as well as my website where I put some blog posts, and we'll continue doing a newsletter in the future when I have the time. Yeah, I'm sorry. Thank you again. Take care.